In today's edition of Charles Bediako versus the National Collegiate Athletic Association, as of 7:49 p.m. on Friday, February 6th, 2026, no one has spotted any white puffs of smoke rising above the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse, which means Circuit Judge Daniel Pruet has not yet issued a ruling. And of course, today they had the hearing on Team Bediako's request for a preliminary injunction that would allow him to keep playing for Alabama and most likely finish the season. Two paralegal points on the arguments that were presented by both sides in court today, according to media reports. Team Bediako made many points, but two key ones. One, that if he is not granted the injunction and he is not able to play out the season, A, he may never play basketball again, and B, he may not be able to afford the tuition to finish his college education and get his degree. On the first point, I'm going to guess that if Charles Bediako cannot play college basketball anymore, that he could probably land a spot with one of those EuroLeague teams that keep shipping players in this direction to play college basketball for teams like Texas A&M and Auburn. On the second point, at a press conference after the hearing, Alabama coach Nate Oats said that if Charles loses this hearing, if he is not allowed to play college basketball anymore, then Alabama will pay for his educational expenses to help him get his degree. Of course, that's the right thing to do, but it was also probably the wrong thing for Nate Oats to say, given that the judge has yet to make a ruling, and he's undercutting one of Team Bediako's arguments. Probably best from this point forward if Nate Oats refrains from commenting on legal matters. Now, we have a matter on the court coming up Saturday as the first IBOB of 2026 will take place in the Jungle in Neville Arena. And so I thought it would be instructive to look back on the impact that Charles Bediako had the first four times he played for Alabama against Auburn. Of course, they played twice in 2022, and Auburn, en route to winning the SEC regular season championship, won both of those games. They played twice the next year, and Alabama, en route to winning the SEC regular season championship and then the SEC tournament, won both games. The second was an incredible overtime thriller in Coleman Coliseum. What kind of impact did Bediako have in those games? Let's look at the numbers. He averaged 4.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 1.8 blocks per game, and he had a total plus minus of -6. In other words, he was no Brandon Miller, he was no Noah Clowney, he was no Jabari Smith, and he was no Walker Kessler. And something tells me when he takes the court on Saturday at Auburn, he won't be the most important player on the floor either.